Hello, hello, it's Simone. I'm here with my very last and very first Coco Daisy project for this November. So, this was actually the first layout that I created, but it's the last that I'm going to share. So, my idea was to scrapbook snowy pictures with this kit. Now, as you know, I live in California and we don't have snow as in the winter and it's cold. There is snow like that in the States, in California, but not here where I live. So I challenged myself to use snow pictures with a very Christmas or wintry themed kit. And now I'm just looking for the right thing to do. So I have four different photos with all of us in the snow, in shorts, and with a very blue sky. And I'm looking for the right background because that white was such a stark contrast, especially because I print my photos at Costco and I totally forgot that their photos often come back they are really nice quality photos. And I just need to remember that they're dark and like a little bit boosted in general. So I need to lighten up my photos. But what I totally did wrong, I actually made my photos look good on screen and have the blue sky really be blue, and that it didn't really enhance the photos. So now I'm struggling. So my gut feeling tells me that this background doesn't work. But I also don't like the stark contrast of the white background. But I just it's just it's the better uh, choice, and so I'm going with the white background and keeping in mind that I might just want to add something to make it not that harsh. I'm going through the journaling cards of the Pocket Kit to see if there's something that I could use and add to the photos, maybe back them with the journaling cards. And now I decide to commit. So I'm going to stick down the tree line that I created here. And I the idea behind this was to have something that looks like a little bit or resembles a little bit a mountain and the valley. So this is where I'm now, and I'm still thinking about backing the photos with the cards, but I don't have four teal or turquoise journaling cards, so I'm going to tap my fingers a bit more. I'm moving the elk. Is he going to make it on the layout or is he not? I'm not sure yet. And then I decide, oh, enough thinking, enough finger tapping. Just stick the photos onto the background before so that I can move on and work on something else. So, yeah. And that's where the hard part comes in next. So I'm going to place the photos there. Then I also fussy cut some more trees to put them into the space there. And then I said, okay, and then I just cut the journaling cards so that I have enough color to back all of my photos. And I'm not going to make you watch this because it was a very tedious process because I had to take off the um, photos again. I had to slip the strips underneath and fumble a lot. And now I'm finished. So I made sure that especially where there was snow, I had a journal card strip backing the photo so that it popped off the background. Okay, so I'm gluing down the trees. And now I'm thinking about placing, I picked out some embellishments like the pine cones, and the birds, but in the end, actually only the birds make it onto the layout. So my title is going to read Shorts, Snow, Sunshine. I would have liked and sunshine, but I really liked the way this title looked, so I'm just not using the word and I'm going to place the title on now because I need it on there to see where I'm going to punch the holes for my trees that I'm going to stitch onto the layout. So this takes quite some time. No, not that much, because I used the wax paper to spell out the title, and now I actually know exactly where I want it to go. I still need to stick down some of the trees because the title doesn't stick well. And now I'm going to use a tree from the paper that is tall enough. I'm just and use this as a template. So I'm placing a cloth. It's actually a cloth to mop the floor with, but it's like felt, and I place it underneath my layout, and I'm going to add holes and like trace the tree so that I then can go and use embroidery floss and stitch them. And I'm starting with 4 trees, a taller and a smaller one on both sides of the tree line, or the hills, if you want to say that. And now I'm looking through my box with embroidery floss and taking out all of the green ones that could work. I'm deciding on a really dark moss green because I have such dark photos that I need something dark on my layout. I'm going to split the thread. So this is 6 strands of embroidery floss, and I'm going to break it up into 3 strands, which is not, you can use how many strands you want. You can just use 6 if you want to. I I think the trees would have popped more if I had left it like that, but I'm really glad I did not. I split it up because I'm going to use all of the embroidery floss. Wow, I was really, in the end, I was very surprised. So I'm done. I sat there one night and worked on the trees, and then I decided I'm going to have some mixed media in the background. So I had this cardstock. It was white cardstock that I used. I don't even know for what I used it, but it's distress distress oxide inks using the packaging technique and then just putting it on to white cardstock. And I just wanted to see what it would look like behind my pictures. Um, and if I would just lift them up and do the packaging technique behind them. And then I'm looking for some green, but actually, I really, really love how this cut out packaging mixed media on cut out, fuzzy cut on from the white cardstock looks like when I add it onto the background. It somehow looks like clouds. And so I don't have enough to back my photos with it, to back all of my photos with it. So I'm actually going to create one more. And yeah, and then so I'm going to get my ink and I'm actually working on top of my layout. I'm like, yeah, please don't copy this. This could go really, really wrong. But I'm very lucky that it didn't. And it still has a little bit of a green tint to it, but it's not visible in the end. So I'm just splotching the color with using some packaging onto the white cardstock. Then I'm letting it dry and I'm deciding on the places I am going to stitch because I really need to bring those trees up to the top of the layout. I thought it would be enough if I just stitched those 4, but after adding the clouds, it's not enough. So I'm going to add one more set of clouds to my background and then just stitching more trees. So I'm going to add one more tree to the left side. I'm going to add one more tree to the middle cluster, and then I'm going to add one to the left, to the right. Left, middle, and right. Yes. And the thing is, I usually am not a person who goes for realistic layouts. So having clouds in the background of my pictures is really a strange thought. It's not something that I would do naturally because that's just not me, but I absolutely love the effect it has on this layout. So now I'm going to add in some more dimension. I'm just using some foam squares and add them underneath some of the tree tops of the layout, those that are not going to be stitched through. And I'm showing this to you now. I'm showing you the back. I'm done stitching. And then if you saw my other layouts, I really need to pre-journal on a scrap piece of paper, because then I know that I get all of those things that I want to say onto my layout. And this is something that I have seen Marie-Pierre Capistran do. Her journaling on her layouts always looks so, I can't even say, so natural, and so I just added it on there because I thought this would work really well there. And now I'm also going to add the date. That was in June of 2017, and it's very important that it's June because, well, it's not a winter layout. And then I'm adding I wanted to add the bird over there because I had this white space there. And then I remember that there were 3 snowflake stickers on the Cocoa Daisy stickers. And there is a saying that says, I never cared for the cold anyway, something like that. I'm sorry, I can't read it right now. And I'm just going to cut the snowflakes apart. And then I really like the saying right down there in the gap. And then this is my finished layout. I think I managed to create some really great layouts with this kit that are not overly Christmassy themed. And I would love to know from you, what do you do when you get a kit that is just not you at that point in time? Do you not use it, or do you make it work for you? If you want to keep watching more videos, there is a couple of videos on screen right now. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And yeah, thanks so much for watching. I will see you next time. Until then, bye.